Hey everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Today we're going to be making shepherd's pie. That's what we're having for supper tonight. So I have got about three ribs of celery. You know what? I got a dinging over here every time I hit that. Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna put in one medium onion and I'm going to chop it. Let's see how much. This made about one cup, a little bit more than a cup of my celery, and one medium onion comes up to about, I'll let you know in just a second. So the medium onion came up to about 1 1/4 cups of onion. So let's get over here to the stove and we'll start putting some of this stuff on. Oh, one thing I want to do before we go to the stove. What in the world? I always stick my little thing that I do my chopping on under there, and sometimes it makes my board get wiggly. Okay. I've got 1 cup of water right here, and I'm getting ready to open up a packet of brown gravy mix. This is reduced sodium, and I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to pop it in my microwave. You use whatever brand that you want to. That was just the Walmart brand. I'm going to stir this up real good, and I'm going to put it in the microwave on about 2 minutes. If you're cooking it on top of the stove, then be sure and if you're cooking it on top of the stove, then be sure and bring it up to a boil and let it boil about a minute and set it off to the side, okay? I'm just going to pop this in here on 2 minutes. That'll probably be enough, and we'll go to the stove and start cooking, okay? Let me see if I can wiggle this around here where you can see what's going on. But I got my pan warming up really good here. I'm gonna spritz a little bit of oil in there, about a tablespoon, if it was that much, you know. Just about a tablespoon. And now I'm gonna take my onion mixture and my celery mixture, and I'm gonna pop that in. I'm gonna get all these onions off the bottom of there. Okay. We're gonna let that just saute a little bit. See how much better just your hands work? You know, they do work. Okay. I'm going to saute that just a little bit. I'm going to let this go for just a little bit, and then we're going to add some garlic. Okay, our celery and our onion is not smelling good, and it's starting to get a little bit translucent. Now we're going to add about About 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons really, because I didn't put that much in there. We're going to stir that just a tad. About a minute. Now, I've got 1 pound hamburger. That's our hamburger meat from our cattle. I'm going to chop that up really good. And we're going to fry these together. Our hamburger to get nice and brown. Then we're going to do the next step. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing right here in a minute. I've got 3 cups of water. I'm going to do an instant, I don't know if y'all use this, but it's Idahoan buttery home style mashed potatoes. I'm going to use those today. You can cook your own. When I have time, I do, but it's getting dark here already. And so I've got my water, 3 cups of water back here. And it is cooking. And I am browning the rest of my meat. I'm going to brown this up really good while that water is getting hot. And if you've never used these before, they're really good. I mean, they are. They're really good. I'm going to put some seasoning in here while I'm waiting on my water to get going. I'm going to put a little bit of, like I said, a little seasoning in here. I'm going to put about, I'll get a teaspoon out, just a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'll put that up in a minute. About a half a teaspoon of rosemary. About a half a teaspoon of rosemary in there. I'm going to put just a pinch of basil. And I'm going to put a little bit of thyme. About a half teaspoon of thyme. Now, you want your hamburger, that was 1 pound of hamburger. You want your hamburger to be chopped up finely. You don't want it in big chunks. You want it in little pieces. You want all your hamburger to be done before you move on to the next step. Okay? Good and brown. I'm going to put in about 2 big tablespoons of tomato paste. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't waste the rest of this. I will get this out of this and put it in a Ziploc baggie, put it in the freezer, and when I need just a tablespoon or 2 more, I won't have to waste a can to get it. Get that all off my spoon. Clean that all off your spoon. And then clean it out whenever you're ready to freeze it. Let me grab my little cloth there. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. Just a half teaspoon, something like that. And this is one of those things you taste too. You know, you got to taste. And about half teaspoon of black pepper. Now, let's stir this in. Looks like my water is about ready. You want to have your mashed potatoes going. Let me turn that eye off. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use 1.5 packets of this. I'm going to turn this down a little bit while I'm doing the mashed potatoes. Wait just a minute. And put it on low. And we'll go ahead and make these mashed potatoes really quick. Put in 1 packet. And then I'm going to use about a half of another packet and save it. Save it. About that much more. Like I said, I save my when I don't need this much, I might need to add just a little bit more water. It might be too thick. I like just the plain buttered ones. They have all kinds of seasoned potatoes that you can use. Stir it up. I'm going to add just a tad bit more hot water. You don't want them running, but you don't want them so thick that you can't use them. So, added just a tad bit more mashed potatoes. Now I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. Now, I'm going to put the lid on it. Set it back here at the back. Not the lid that goes with it. I just pulled out the wrong one. That's all right. Now, we got this on low. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to add in about 1/4 cup of flour. This will help with the thickening, you know, of making the pie. You know, if you were using a hamburger meat that is not very lean, you need to drain the grease off before you do this, okay? And now I'm gonna add some beef broth, and I'm gonna measure it for you all. I normally just pour it in by sight, but I'm gonna put about a 1/2 cup. Start out with a 1/2 cup. Now, let me grab something. Okay, I've let this cook for a couple of minutes to get that flour taste out of there. Hang on a minute. I lost a piece of, ouch, a piece of meat. Okay. Now I'm going to put in my gravy that I made in the microwave, my brown gravy. Stir that up. Pour that in there. And then we'll put some more things in there and get all this out of there. Ouch, that bowl is hot. Now I'm going to use this, if there's any little bits on the bottom, you want to loosen it up with that brown gravy. So many ways to make this old favorite, but this is our way. Now, I've got this down on low. Now I've got some frozen vegetables. I'm going to put about a cup, maybe a little bit more, of peas and carrots. And you know, we've already got the celery and the onions in there. I normally would have thawed them first, but just didn't think about it till the last second. Then I thought, well, I need to get my veggies. I might put just a tad bit more, not much, just a little bit more of the beef broth. I've got this on low right now. Maybe add just a few more. And if you want to use the peas, carrots, and corn and green beans, whatever you want to use, I usually make a side of green beans to go with it. So I'm going to let that just sit here and simmer just a little bit. I probably used about 3/4 of a cup. But see, our meat just does not have any grease or anything like that in it. It's very lean. That heat, sounds like my oven's ready, don't it? Well, let's put this thing together. Okay, this is about a, maybe a 9 by 9 baking dish. I'm going to take my meat mixture. That's heavy for me. And I'm going to put all that in a greased up dish. And I'm going to spread this out. Before I do anything else, I'm just going to now I'm going to put my mashed potatoes. I have to think a minute, young ones. My mind, you know. We're going to have a lot to clean up whenever I get through with this. I'm going to put my mashed potatoes all over the top. And you want about, you want about 3 cups. If you're going to cook them yourself, just quarter your potatoes, peel them, quarter them. Do mashed potatoes, you know what I'm saying? Put your little butter in there. You don't want it to be so thick that you can't spread it. Just spread it all over the top. This was about 3 cups, and it is about the correct ratio there. Look, it's going to go good. Ruby, Ruby. Let me see what's happening. Okay, I like to make a little design in mine. The cheese covers this, but I love it whenever, because we're going to put it on broil. I've been doing 2 dishes today, two kinds of videos, and so I had the other one on my mind, and I preheated my oven to 350, and I didn't need that to 350. I need to put it on broil, and I'm going to put it in there just for a few minutes. You got to watch it. You don't want it, you do not want it to burn. And this is the 4 staple cheddar cheese by Sargento. And tonight's just going to be trying to get it done simply. Not everything doesn't have to be done from scratch sometimes whenever you are trying to get supper on pretty quick. So, now I'm going to pop this in under that broiler. And I'm going to watch it. It should not stay in there any longer than maybe 3 minutes. So we'll be right back, okay? Okay, we're back. Let me grab a fork here. I cut out a piece. I like to brown my cheese on top a little bit. And look how good that looks. Isn't that a nice shepherd's pie? You can't beat that, you know? And you've got your meat, you've got your vegetables, and I will show you all I'll show y'all a picture of my plate whenever we get ready to eat supper. I've got some bread in the oven. And let me shut the drawer here. Forgot my thing. And I'm just going to take just a little pinch. Just a little pinch. Lord, thank you for this good pie. So good. So good. It stayed in the oven probably about 10 minutes because it took a little longer than really good. One thing, I left mine in the oven long enough to thaw those vegetables, those peas and carrots, but I got some green beans on cooking, but make sure you thaw those before you throw them in there. I let them saute for a little while and they thawed, but this is really, really good. It's really good. It's like a meal in a one dish meal, you know. If you just had a piece of bread with that, it'd be enough. You have mashed potatoes, you have meat, you have some cheese on there, got some vegetables. And if you've never had a shepherd's pie, and in the comments, tell me how y'all make yours, okay? And we'll see what I need to throw in there next time. I just want y'all to know that I love yous, that I appreciate you watching, and I hope that this is a recipe that you'll make with your family. Adjust the spices to what your favorites are. I just go mild on the spices with this, but you can add more, give it more flavor, and I think you'll really like it. I appreciate y'all sharing and telling other people about my page. I really do. That's how it goes into other homes. I get hot, I start coughing. So I will see you all next time, Lord willing, to do another recipe, okay? Don't forget, young'uns, how much the good Lord loves you. Never, never forget that, no matter what. If you don't Remember, nothing I tell you about a recipe. Just remember how much God loves you. And let's remember what this season's about. This season is about the baby Jesus that came and was born in a manger and died on the cross that we could be saved. Well, I'm going to go. Just keep that spirit in your heart this season, okay? I will see you next time. Like I said, Lord willing. Bye-bye.